well. I didn't think I'd be seeing you guys back so soon, but here I am. I told you guys, I'm going to be reviewing a select variety of films. I don't think I worded that right, but it doesn't matter. Hey guys, it's Joshua Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at a movie that has been on my radar for quite some time, ever since I bought it on eBay. See, for those of you not aware, if I haven't mentioned it, or if I have, doesn't matter. I own a stack pile of early 2000s slashers, and I had to search the web, mainly on it, or what am I talking about? Mainly on Letterboxd, to find a bunch of generic 2000 slashers. I don't know why that choice, but for some reason, the early 2000s just loved to make a bunch of generic early 2000 movies, like in terms of slashers. I don't know why, they just did. I mean, that's why you got movies like, Jeepers Creepers, House of Wax, Hills Have Eyes. You have, sorry about that. You also have movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, but those are like the mainstream ones. I'm talking like the ones you probably have never heard about. And today we're going to be talking about a really underrated one. The Toolbox Murders, directed by none other than Tobe Hooper, the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which is why I'm wearing this shirt, even though it's not the original. This is the third movie, which I think it's an underrated sequel. I like the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's not perfect, but anyways. So the Toolbox Murders. Said that very funky. This is a movie that I actually heard some pretty decent things about, but I've been fooled before, so I took caution, knowing that this will either be, decent, or it'd just be plain bad. I mean, most of the times. And here's the thing about Tobe Hooper. I haven't seen The Poltergeist. I know it's a classic, but I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've seen the sequel, which I know he directed, but he didn't write. And it's actually a good sequel. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. I saw Crocodile, and I thought that was mid. But he has had kind of a wacky track record. He's made some hits and he's made some misses. One that I forgot to mention was The Funhouse. I saw that a long time ago and I remember liking it, but he's made some ones that I've heard aren't that good. I still haven't seen a lot of films of his, but now can add another one to the pile. So how was this movie? Well, as I said in the beginning, it's underrated, so let me just get this out of the way. This was a genuine surprise. I was totally caught off guard. When this movie started, I was immediately pulled in. I was like, wow, this movie, you can tell was restricted by obviously like a low budget, but whatever budget they had, they made do with what they had. I mean, this movie worked really well in my opinion. First of all, thank God it wasn't boring. Oh my God, you have no idea how many films I have seen where it just fails to keep me engaged. And I don't know what it is about movies or indie films or low budget. I don't care. What is it? What's so hard about keeping the viewer entertained? Now, obviously, people get entertained by different things. Not everyone is going to find enjoyment out of this film. But I just want to point something out. I really liked the characters in this film. And I really liked the story and the mystery we got going on in this film. See, it's about a couple, or, it's a husband and wife couple, and they move into this new apartment complex, and it's seen better days. It's going under some maintenance and repairs, and the guy who owns the place, or is kind of looking after it, he talks like, yeah, it's got a bunch of charm into it, and there's some suspicious characters in this movie, like characters that are obviously supposed to be red herrings, and you're kind of like, okay, are they, just another victim, or are they the killer? So it's, for a while, there's kind of a murder mystery going on, like who is the killer? But then as the movie progresses, you learn that there's some other shady stuff going on in this apartment complex or hotel. I don't fucking know what it would. It's a okay. It's an apartment. Yeah. So what is the main character's name? I said I like the characters, but I completely forgot the main character's name. But it's this chick. Let me just say this. She was great. I loved her character, and I love the actress's performance. She's been in a few other films, from what I understand. She was in a movie called 12 Hour Shift, which I heard was good, but I still haven't checked it out. Dead Meat liked it, so that's a plus. But by the way, I actually got to meet Dead Meat. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know why. I just wanted to point that out. But anywho, so honestly, this would be a good movie for him to cover. So yeah, there's actually quite a bit of stuff I liked in this movie. First of all, I like the characters. Our main female lead, she is very, very smart. She is obviously disturbed by this place, but she also has a loving relationship with her husband. And I was refreshing to see them show kind of the problems in their marriage, but not directly say they hate each other. There's a moment towards the end I liked where the husband, this is a small spoiler, the husband gets stabbed. I won't say how, but he gets stabbed, and the wife is tied to something, and they have a moment of, relief. So he goes over to her, and she says, "You're hurt, like you're badly hurt." And he's like, "I don't care." I was like, "Aw, that's cute. I like that." You really felt the chemistry between the husband and wife. And while the husband isn't always there, because in the movie it's explained he works at a hospital, which is why they moved to this badly fucking apartment, which, by the way, why don't they move out? Well, it's explained that the contract that they signed, if they leave, whatever it is, the contract will be, and I guess they won't get their money back or something. I don't know. I didn't, that part I kind of, but they have a reason for not leaving. And I really like I'm gonna fucking punch myself in the face if I don't. Okay, her name is son of a bitch. Okay, so I just looked it up. It's Nell. So Nell, I liked her progression, and I liked the fact that, at first she's disturbed by this apartment, and she spends most of her time home alone because her husband is doing most of the work at the hospital, and because he has night shifts because it's the hospital, of course. She has to do some exploring around the apartment and make new friends and, become accustomed to her new living space. And I really liked how claustrophobic this movie makes you feel. This apartment complex feels really dirty and very just, ugh. Like, you ever spend a night at a hotel room, like you're out of town, going on a trip somewhere, vacation, and your parents or you just booked this really shit hotel room. I mean, most of the time my time in hotel rooms, I stay at a Super 8. When I go on my family reunion trip, and we stay at the usual Super 8, but occasionally we've had one or two times where the hotel room itself was very disgusting. So I can kind of, this isn't a hotel, but you know what I'm talking about. Like if you've ever just been around this kind of place, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I loved how claustrophobic this movie felt. And by the time you get to the end and the mystery is revealed, what's going on, I was really like, ooh, okay. I like what we're doing. And towards the end, they do something that will either make or break for people because, spoiler alert, just skip like maybe 10 seconds ahead of this video. So right now, skip to like whatever. There's a slight supernatural angle to it. Actually, a big supernatural angle, but it'll either break or make for people. So yeah, that's that. So I didn't mind it, but I can definitely see it being a turnoff for some people, especially since this is for the most part, a pretty straightforward slasher. And by the way, this movie is also a remake to a movie from the same name in 1978. Although according to sources online, this movie is just a name alone like remake, and besides the design of the killer, it's pretty much just it's totally like a new thing. So the Wrong Turn remake. But honestly, I'm gonna say this: I don't have that many issues with this film. I think maybe some slight issues is that maybe there's not a lot of action. But because the story's so good and the writing for the most part is pretty good, like there's some lines here and there that could have been delivered better. One or two actors could have maybe done a better job at their performance. But for the most part, I was like totally engaged with every character that was on screen. Every character had a personality to it. And I liked how Nell had to kind of, wander around the apartment complex and just try to figure out like what is going on. Why are people missing? Why are people dead? well, she doesn't know people are dying, but, you know, the audience knows people are dying. There's something going on, and she's trying to figure it out. And it was very compelling, in my opinion. And, well, again, while some actors maybe could have done a better job, I thought for the most part, these actors did a really good job for what they were given. Toby Hooper knows how to build suspense. That is the one, and God rest his soul. He did a great job working on this film for the whatever budget it was, because you can tell that the money was well spent. The whole apartment just felt breathed in, lived in, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And for gorehounds, you know, there's some good kills. There's not a lot of, like, you know, kills, but the kills that aren't present are pretty good. I mean, they're nothing great, but I mean, if you're a slasher fan, you'll definitely find some enjoyment. And there was one last thing I wanted to mention. So to get man, I kind of these videos are not scripted. Fuck me. So, but yeah, besides some minor acting issues with some of the actors, every character felt well-rounded. This place felt claustrophobic. The story was engaging, and you know, obviously, oh, that's it. Some of the pacing is a little slow. Like the pacing for the most part works really well, but it is a very, I want to say, slow-moving film. Like, there's not a lot of action, and when a kill does happen, you're like, oh shit, okay, that person died. Damn. Oh, that kind of brought me back. That yeah, this is a slasher. Because for the most part, we're following Nell the entire film. And there's also a Psycho reference in the beginning where you think the movie is going to follow this character, but then it's like revealed Nell was the main character. I like that. Nice touch. There's a few cool references in this film. I saw that Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference, Toby. I saw it. I saw that hook. Nice. Anywho, so Toolbox Murders. I had some issues with it, but honestly, I had a really good time with this movie. And if you haven't checked it out, I actually really recommend it. It's not that bad, honestly. I was expecting so much fucking worse. You have no idea. I was like going into this film thinking, oh, you know, it'll be a make or break for me. You know, it's 50-50, but I was pleasantly surprised. I would actually go as far as say I might watch this again. So I'm going to give it an A. I actually really recommend you guys check it out. And you know what? If there's ever a Blu-ray release, I'll pick it up. Because this film, I could definitely see getting a Blu-ray release. Anywho, that was Toolbox Murders. I really liked it. I can't wait to watch the sequel. I'm sure it's just as good.